He was the Super Bowl MVP, won a Super Bowl. He's not being disrespected or something. It's not about what he wins on the field. It's about how everybody talks about him, Schrags. Do you feel that Jalen Hurts is always going to be scrutinized?
As another example, you think, he squats 600 pounds. He can, run over guys. He can throw it a mile. But his appreciation of the cerebral part of the game is what's impressive to me, and how he's taken his game to the next level.
Okay, it's time we stop pretending that Jalen Hurts is anything less than elite. After a full off-season of hostile debating, the Philly QB just went out there in week 1 and delivered, frankly, the most typical of Jalen Hurts' performances. No, he did not throw for 400 yards. No, he didn't toss 3 touchdowns. But what he did was dominate a division rival with precision, poise, and playmaking ability that goes far beyond what the box score says. While Twitter was still warming up for another round of victory laps, Hurts was busy doing what he always does: winning. So it wasn't a flawless day from the Eagles quarterback, but he was a one-man wrecking crew in that first half, it cannot be denied. And I know what you're going to say. Where was the production for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith? That is certainly something that offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo is going to need to look at, because I'm going to go on a limb and say that their poor days were not on Hurts. This was a trend throughout the game, so what did Hurts do? He destroyed the Cowboys defense with his legs. On this play, where he again receives no help downfield from his 4 different receivers, he bails out the pocket, makes a defender miss, and picks up a good chunk of yards to get his team deep into the red zone. How many quarterbacks in the NFL are doing that? And for the record, he looked pretty damn spry on that run in comparison to last year where he was slightly hampered by injury. This threat as a rusher is the kind of thing that people always forget about when it comes to Jalen Hurts. Too often, his passing numbers are quoted as the sole factor in whether he is elite or not.
And did you know, Peggy?
What's up?
That Jalen Hurts only threw for 2,900 yards?
Yeah.
In the whole season.
Yeah, 2,903 yards.
Of course, what Cam Newton is helpfully leaving out there is that Hurts essentially only played 14 games last year, having ended his season after just 1 pass in Week 16 against the Commanders. There is literally no doubt that his passing numbers would have looked significantly better had he completed those final 3 games in full. Also, Newton is completely ignoring his contribution as a rusher, which, of all people, Cam Newton should understand. Because 630 yards and 14 touchdowns on the ground is pretty damn good. In posting those impressive rushing numbers, Jalen Hurts becomes the first quarterback in NFL history to have 4 consecutive seasons with double-digit rushing touchdowns. And after week 1 of the 2025 NFL season, it's surely going to become 5. But let's go back to looking at this Dallas game again, because it really cannot be understated how much of a game changer Hurts is with his legs. In a similar play to the one we've already looked at, all 4 of his receivers get locked up here, only for Hurts to calmly collect the first down with his legs. I mean, for a defense, that's a morale destroyer. You've literally done everything you were meant to do perfectly. It is not at all easy to lock up Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and the rest of the Eagles pass catchers, but you've done exactly that, yet Hurts still breaks off a 10-yard run. Obviously, the low-hanging fruit for anybody who is looking to criticise Jalen Hurts as a quarterback are the passing totals. And yeah, 152 yards and 0 passing touchdowns is unlikely to win you an MVP award. But, as has become crystal clear over recent years, there's only one thing that this guy cares about, and that's winning the damn game. To that point, these 152 yards came on 19 completions from just 23 attempts. That is a completion rate of 82.6%, with just 4 incompletions in total. And, as you'll probably remember, most of those incompletions were on throwaways, which sums up the other important part of Jalen Hurts' game. He rarely puts the ball in harm's way, like on this play here. None of his superstar receivers are getting open downfield, so Hurts buys time to see if anything will materialize before not panicking and sending the ball safely out of bounds. It looks boring, but how many quarterbacks get themselves and their team in trouble by making rash decisions and trying to do too much here? Like it or not, when you have a high-quality defense that is masterminded by Vic Fangio, and you have a star-studded offense, which includes your own game-breaking rushing ability, by the way, settling for throwaways and sensible plays like this is often the right option. This sensible and efficient approach was the story of the 2024 season for Jalen Hurts, and obviously we know how well that went. It did ultimately bring out this polarizing debate about his status as a game manager or a game changer, but the fact of the matter is, in the final 3 rounds of the playoffs, including the Super Bowl, Hurts never dipped below 71% completion rate, and he threw just one interception over the entire postseason. Then, as we all know, when the pressure was really on the biggest of stages, he showed he was more than capable of making big plays with his arm as well. In fact, Jalen Hurts' EPA of 0.51 is the highest in a Super Bowl in NFL history, and his combined 73.3% completion rate over both Super Bowl appearances is the highest in NFL history as well. The criticism of this guy is that you want to make him throw the ball, right? Well, Kansas City did that in both Super Bowls, and he absolutely destroyed them once, and he almost destroyed them another time, obviously with some help from the defense as well. It's at this point that you have to bring up the players like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, who we criticize so much for not getting the job done in the playoffs. We put so much emphasis on this kind of performance when evaluating whether someone has it or not, and Jalen Hurts just goes out and kills it every time. If we're going to criticize Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen for not getting it done, we should probably praise Jalen Hurts for repeatedly playing well on the biggest of stages. He just goes out and kills it every single time, which has got to count for something, right? Jalen Hurts really can do it all, and is a game changer in every sense of the word. Yes, he has some flaws, but to argue against him being one of the NFL's most dangerous players is completely pointless. Or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments.